going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Doing another Pete Dye course on a chilly New England fall day here. Today we are playing Harbor Ridge Yacht and Country Club. This is the River Ridge course in Palm City, Florida. This was completed in 1989 by Pete Dye in collaboration with his son, PB Dye. So usually, as a lot of these Pete Dye courses have been, working my way through the list in alphabetical order, going to be a pretty long and challenging course. We'll see how we do. A little bit short on time today. I think this is probably going to be the only day this week that I'll be able to come out here and film, but I had to even wait until later in the day. There's still frost on the ground. It's like 40 degrees out right now, so a bit on the chilly side. Only took 7 shots total to warm up. Just it's probably 3-4 pitching wedges, and then what was that, like 3 9-iron, something like that. So we'll see. Should be interesting. Did a little bit of upgrades. I upgraded the battery in the camera that I used to record, so allows me to use the mic that I've been using on course. It's a higher quality mic. It has a larger range. We'll see how it goes. It's a little bit higher up. Probably looks a little bit goofy with that the wind screen on it, but we're trying it out. So hopefully it doesn't shut off or anything, and hopefully the audio is decent. But we're gonna give it a go here and see what we can do. So Garmin Approach R10 behind me on a DIY level stand, Country Club Elite mat, brand new Callaway Super Fast Ball, DIY stance mat, 10x7 nets, and home tee here you're seeing as the simulator software within the Garmin Golf app. So first hole, there was a lot of tee boxes, and we always play from the furthest back. So this is going to be, like I said, probably a little bit interesting, but hopefully put up a halfway decent score. First hole, par 4, 375. First driver swing, first couple driver swings, even the first 9 holes would probably be interesting, but let's see. Distances were down just on the 7 shots. Granted, I didn't hit that many, but because of the weather and whatnot, I was hitting everything like probably 5-10 yards short. I hit 1 9-iron decent and went 149, so it's about 5 yards short from a well-struck ball, so I got to keep that in mind going forward. But here we go. Low in the face. I don't know if we caught those trees or not. Doesn't look like we did. Not the quickest, not the best strike in the world, but we're in the fairway. I could tell it's so cold out. Even on the shots that I hit decent, it felt alright with the irons, but anything slightly off of center, the feedback on those irons and even that driver shot, just from the cold weather, the vibrations go through your hands. It kind of hurts. But second shot, 145 down 2. I'm gonna go 9, just because, like I was saying, distances and whatnot, at least probably for these first 5-6 holes. Maybe we'll see if I get up to more closer to stock yardages, but I don't know. It could be just a downward trajectory from here through winter until we get to like springtime again, but usually we have a couple warm weather days in there. I am just gonna double check, like I said, because I'm using first time using this new battery in here and using these mics that I only use on course. Basically, these mics, they don't have a charging port. The other mics that I use back here allowed me to charge my phone at the same time, or the camera, so I could basically have that out here, charge it, and not worry about the battery as much. But we'll see how it goes. So second shot, 145. I'm gonna favor just this left side just a little bit, just because there's water over there. So we need 143, going 9. Alright, a little bit thin, a little bit toey, came out a bit right, but considering we aim left, that actually should be pretty good. And again, I mean, that wasn't super poorly struck, it wasn't great, but for a little bit thin, we only got 141 out of it, and it was down 2. I think I'm probably close to half a club, full club short right now. Second hole, par 3. I am probably going to touch this mic a couple times, the wind muff thing on top. Luckily it's not super windy out right now, but that thing is a little touchy. I don't want it to fall off. But second hole, par 3, 206 up 1. Oh boy. So I'm going to go 5 iron. Usually, like, I've been seeing about 200, 205 out of the 6. So I'm grabbing an extra club. This still may even be short depending on how I hit this, but Healy and pretty far right. Luckily there's not much over there, but well, Garmin had that coming back. I don't know about that. Maybe. I'm still trying to play the draw, but that one felt like it started right and stayed right. That might have been generous, but either way, we're still not on the green. 13 yards left, gonna go 60. We're in the rough, so I need about 14, 15. Oh, it's gonna work out, but I hit like an inch behind that. Drop kicked it. I know I say that a lot, but that's the best terminology that I can use to explain it. Probably people with mats, you know, especially with country club elite mats, it's like firmer and almost denser, so you catch it heavy and it just skips off right into the ball versus making a fat divot on course. Alright, even through 2, third hole par 4, 420. Slight dogleg left. So far, not a whole lot of issues to get ourselves in trouble just yet, but I mean, Pete Dye, notorious course designer, a lot of times for challenging and different looking holes, which is why I'm playing them, but we'll see if that remains the case throughout the rest of this round. Alright, struck a little bit better, still low and Healy though. It's probably going to fade up the right. Feels like, just wish it was warm weather or I was in Florida again. Feels like I come out here and I'm battling to get warmed up for 5-6 holes, and then by the time I do get warmed up, have some decent swings, more warmer swings. Kind of feel like I'm back to normal a little bit for like 5-6 holes. Then after that, fatigue starts creeping in. So I go from it's a very short period of time where I feel like I'm actually swinging close to my normal speeds and hitting them decent, and then before that it's warming up, and after that you're cooling down and getting fatigued quicker. Alright, 168 down 1, so I'm gonna go 8-iron. This may be a little ambitious. I've been seeing about 165, 170 out of a well-struck 8-iron. I should probably hit a 7, but struck it halfway decent, but left the club face open. That's gonna miss the green to the right. And short. I might have to break out the Sim 2s for some of these colder weather rounds. Get my distances back up. 17 yards. We're gonna go back to the 60. Need about 19 or so with the rough. Should be better. Still a tad heavy, but that was pretty straight. Maybe just a tad short. Yep. So far so good with the camera. Got a little bit worried when I changed things around, just because I kind of have the system down of all the equipment I use and what I do to go through to set everything up, and it seems to work pretty well, but it's over here. Last thing I want to happen is come out here, spend an hour recording a video, and then something doesn't work, and then basically just have to redo it. Kind of a waste of time, but 1 over through 3, fourth hole par 4, 418. What do we got up there? Alright, we got water for the second shot. See if I can catch something a little bit higher on the face here. struck a little bit better. A little bit higher on the face, but that's gonna be up the left. Still on the lower side, but let's hit a little bit better. It may be 260, 265, 270. The other thing too is I mentioned it, I haven't put any out yet with the mics that I got, the ones that I'm using right now. And there's different settings you can do, different like noise cancellation settings to basically isolate your voice, and you can do different volume settings. So I'm still kind of playing around which one I want to use. There's basically 1 through 3 on the volume and 1 through 3 on the noise, I guess noise reduction. Seems like there was one or two rounds I looked at the footage after the fact, first time using them, and my voice was peaking a lot, so it was kind of getting distorted when I talked louder. So I moved the mic further away. Instead of having it clipped right on my head, I have it moved up towards, kind of facing up on my head pretty much, which should help a little bit with that, but I don't know, hopefully the audio sounds alright. 153 left, down 1. I'm gonna go 8, just because there's water in front. If I hit this good, it's gonna be too much, but 9 might be asking a lot for a 9. Getting over 150 with that right now. Thin and to the right, we'll see. Struck it halfway decent though. May need to get down. Set. Yeah, it's kind of what I was worried about. 165, that's about 166, what I've been seeing. Guess I could have hit the 9, but it is what it is. I think that's a +3 out there. It's the problem with cold weather. You're down on distance, you club up a little bit, then you hit it decent and you're long. 5th hole par 3, or what am I saying? 5th hole par 5, the cold's getting to me. 5th hole par 5, 517, 2 over. Aim slightly up the right side here. I was thinking too, I would imagine with colder weather, kind of like anything else, like your car or any other stuff, it kind of stiffens up when it's cold. I'm wondering if that's the same effect with shafts. Obviously speed's going to be down because your muscles aren't as warm and you can't move quite as quick. Ball speeds are down, but I'm wondering if the extra stiff shafts almost get a little bit stiffer in cold weather versus like 80, 90 degree temperature. I would think so, but maybe it's just a marginal difference that doesn't really equate to a whole lot. Alright, that was probably, still wasn't great, but that was probably the best struck one yet. Should start right, turn over left. That could be 275, 280-ish maybe. Not quite, I guess. Maybe not. Better contact though. Maybe I swung a little bit slower, but it was better contact for sure. So 268 out of it still down the middle. We'll take that. Thought that may have rolled out a little bit more, but counting my chickens before they hatch distance-wise, I guess. 253 left, 241 there. Gonna go 4 hybrid. Was striking this pretty poor last time I was out here. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But just looking, usually play this to about 245-ish. Probably closer to like 235 on a day like today, but let's see. Alright, a little bit heely. It's going to be up the right side, but it was at least decent. Should be about 230-ish. 230 on the dot. Actually striking the ball a little bit better today so far. It's probably going to go downhill, but so far so good. All I've been doing, again, I mess with stuff every single time I come out here with my swing, just working on little tiny things, but all I'm doing today is just kind of adjusting and aligning my body almost to where my back is more towards the target, just kind of shifting to the right. Should help come a little bit more from the inside. It's one thing, like I mentioned, I think out here last time, so 28 yards, another 2-3 yards, we need like 31, we're gonna go 56. One thing back here is sometimes I get a little bit lost. I almost need to put like a red flag back there to like look at every single time, because on course you just obviously naturally align yourself depending on what kind of shot you're going to hit or whatnot and what's around. But here everything just kind of gets blended together because you're setting up the same every time. But sometimes I can find myself, even if my feet are in a similar line, maybe sometimes my shoulders and my body are too far left, which promotes coming across it more. So it's easy to like get a little bit disoriented back here with the same exact basically target every single time versus adjusting every single time on course to where you need to be aimed. That's going to be long left. Hopefully it stays on the green though. I can tell that thing popped off the, kind of shot off the club face kind of hot, but we're on. It's a par. Alright, moving along, 2 over through 5, 6th hole par 5, 514, pretty straight but a little bit narrow. Aim up this right side. Kind of lunged at it, low in the face towards the toe. That's gonna be up the right, but we just caught the fairway. .266. I can tell, like I've been saying, I've only been using this back to the regular driver shaft in here. Definitely more rigid. I do like it though because I can feel like I have a better idea. The club doesn't flex as much like I've been saying, so the club kind of stays with me more in the transition and downswing, which I like. And I think just from the little bit longer length and a little more rigidity, I get a little bit more distance out of it. But on the flip side of that coin, the club doesn't flex as much coming through, so that whip factor is down a little bit. So like I mentioned before, it's kind of a trade-off with distance. So far I've been seeing a little bit more distance, probably just from the length of the club, but I think swing speed is probably down a little bit. But alright, 248 left, 241 to right there, so going for hybrid. Hopefully we hit it at least good enough just to get over that stream and have a wedge left. It's possible we get it there, but that's probably low likelihood. That's a low line drive up the middle. Or right, but struck halfway decent. I had that a little bit straighter, not fading. It didn't fade a crazy amount, but I had that. I thought that was gonna be dead straight. Garmin had that with probably maybe 10 yards or so of fade on it, but either way, hitting 3 into this par 5, 27 yards. Need right around 30, going 56. Pulled it left. That's going to be a little bit too much again, I think. Or in the hole. Let's go. That took a lucky bounce. If that didn't hit the cup and go in, that probably would have rolled out an extra couple yards. That works though. That's an eagle. You know, some days you have it, some days you get lucky, and some days you don't. Today might be one of those lucky days. Alright, back to even. That helps the scorecard. 7th hole, par 3, 156, down 1. Same thing. I'm going to go to the 8 iron. If I hit it good, it's going to be too much, but basically we need all carry just to get it to the front side of that green. So if I don't catch the 9, essentially perfect for a day like today. 155 is a little ambitious. That's like a really well struck 9. If I don't catch it perfect, we're probably short in that water. Still a chance we catch it not great and still put this 8 in the water, but should give us a little more wiggle room. Alright. Usually I don't do that. The ball moved, rolled towards the right a little bit when I addressed that, so gotta try to do that more. Sometimes I say whatever, I'm just gonna hit it, and I do that back here and on course, and I mess with myself. I just gotta try to do a better job if things don't feel right, if the wind picks up or the ball moves or I hear something, just backing off and resetting. Oh, that was extremely thin. Thin to win though. And that, folks, is why we go 8-iron there. Kind of hurts the ego a little bit though. 163 on an 8. That was like closer to my 9 distance before my other clubs, and that was thin too, which usually obviously adds distance to it, but that's what happens when you go from game improvement to smaller, less loft jacked players type of irons. Still even though, 8th hole par 4. Dogleg left, we got this tree over here. We're going to aim up this right side, hopefully draw it back. Once we clear those trees here on the left, it looks pretty open, so as long as we can launch it kind of a little bit better up in the air and out to the right. Oh, and that's a duck hooky one left. That could catch the trees. Oh, we just cleared them. Not going to go very far, but we got lucky with those trees. I shut the club face down way too much when I came through on that. Alright, 184. What are we going to hit here? I guess 7. This is pretty close. I've been seeing about 185, 190 out of the 7. But considering that's basically right where we're at, I'm just going to try to strike this good. It may still be front side of the green, but if I went down to the 6, I think it'd be too much. Tad Healy left the club face open. That's going to be short right. And it's short right. It's going to be a +3, unfortunately. I wish Garmin I still haven't really done that. Sometimes it just lets you hit. I don't love the +3 out there. I feel like I'd take my chances using the 60 degree and put it inside the inner circle to save a stroke. It would be cool, like I've been saying, if they eventually did an update and just gave you an option, like a little pop-up and said, take the +3 or try to chip it, but alright. 1 over, 9th hole, par 4, 387. I practiced out here maybe 2 weeks ago or so, and I was overcooking. Well, I go back and forth. Sometimes I overcook things left, and then I open things up, and then I start losing them right again. But what I did the other day was I basically opened the club face up so much to where it was basically uncomfortable, and I was looking down on it, and I was worried how open it was. But what that did for at least that practice session was having the club face so open, my brain just subconsciously was saying, all right, this is way too open. You really need to release the club to get it to not go 60 yards right. It did seem to help a little bit. I was releasing the club better, and then I get into a stretch of overcooking it left, and then I need to dial it back, but kind of lowing up the right, but should be fine. All that to say, if you find yourself missing it one way or the other, maybe for a practice session, go out and kind of do a drastic change in the opposite direction. It kind of tricks your brain into doing one thing or the other. So if you're losing them far right, open the club face up even more. It'll force you to shut down the club face. And if you're losing them left, maybe shut the club face down at address and work on keeping that club face kind of more square and open through impact. Sometimes that almost trick your brain in reverse psychology almost. All right, 125 down 1. Just gonna go pitch and wedge. Usually I could probably get on a good day close to that approach wedge. This is kind of an in-between distance anyways, but I've been seeing about 130, 135 out of this pitch and wedge. Right now it's probably closer to 125, 130, which should be decent for this. Pretty good strike, just a tad toey, but that may be on the long side. That could be close to 135, 140. Set. Yep, 136. Struck good though. That's a good pitch and wedge in my book. That was perfectly where I wanted it. It was just maybe a half a groove, if that, low, but it was like a half a groove low and like 2 dimples toe side, but that was essentially, that's about as close to the center of the club face and the sweet spot that I can get from a lot of shots. Onto the back 9 we go. 10th hole par 4, 354. We got water left, so I'm definitely going to aim out here to the right. And honestly, I'll take the trees in the rough. Give ourselves some space just in case I duck hook one. Playing on course later this week for the second time using the irons. It's going to be a little bit warmer, which is good, but second time using the irons and second time using the driver with this shaft on course, so hopefully things go well. Just hoping some of the changes that I've made back here lately translate over to on-course play. Oh, it's about as low in the face as you can get it. It'll be fine. It's just low and up the left. And that, folks, is why you aim so far right on a shot like that. Again, the alignment and the place where I pick it off the tee box is kind of arbitrary because, again, I can aim super far right. It's kind of like what you see people on course. I've explained it before, but some people with wicked slices aim like 90 degrees left and it still comes back. It's just your starting line, and I would have picked the same starting line if I knew I had water all up on the left on course. I would just aim out to the right and know that I'm safe out there. And then if I do something like that, you're still in a decent spot. I didn't see how far that went. Probably wasn't very far, probably 240-ish if that. But I mean, we're in the fairway, so 125 down 1. I'm gonna favor the right just a little bit. I'm gonna go, debating hitting the approach wedge. I'm gonna go slightly choke down pitching wedge. I caught that pretty good last time, so I'm gonna choke down about 1 inch. See if we can take a little bit off of it with a similar strike. Alright, that was more toey, but I took a little bit off it, choked down. Did leave it out to the right a little bit, but distance control wasn't terrible there. I'll take that. It's pretty much I swung easy enough and choked down enough to get the right distance. It was just having that club face a little too much open on impact and catching a little toey, but nothing wrong with a par there. 11th hole par 4, 369. What was that? 3-6 Mafia? That song? 369. Blank, you're fine. Alright. Was that Lil Jon? I don't remember. Might be Lil Jon. That's a throwback. Better strike. That was higher on the club face. Left it out a little bit to the right, but should come back a little bit, and that was a better launch on it. Should be about 270. 276. Got that roll out in the fairway. I could tell right away, obviously, as soon as you hit it, just just the sound and the feel and everything else. That was a well-struck driver compared to what I've been doing over the past like month or so. Alright. Luckily we've kind of traversed some of these water situations pretty good. This one's challenging. You got basically 3/4 of the green covered with water, so 94 yards down one. We got 93. I'm going approach wedge. Let's see if we can get the distance right and keep it dry. Very towy, kind of drop kicked it. We'll see. Pretty questionable strike, but good result. Better to be lucky than good. Birdie, I'll take that. I don't know how a strike like that ends up being that close to the pin, but we did something right. Or we get the benefit of a slight misread, which is probably the case too on that, but 12th hole par 3 back to even. 205. And we got water. Luckily we got some room back there, so 205. I'm gonna go 5-iron. If I hit the 6 really good, I could get that there. This could possibly be too much. Lately I've been playing the 6 to about 200, 205. This 5-iron usually about 215-ish. And that 4-iron about 225 when I strike it well. So we'll see what happens here. If I hit this good, it's going to potentially be about 10 yards too much, but thin and right. That's not going to be on the green. 4 swing. Alright, 21 in the rough. I'm going to go... I've been kind of blasting that 56, so I guess I'll go 60. We need about 21 plus another 2. We need like 23. Came up long those first couple times with that 56, so let's see if we can get 23 out of the 60. That one came out kind of hot too. It might be on the long side. It launched high, but yeah, a little bit long. I guess on the bright side, I guess if I drop kick it, it's not really the case, or I hit it thin, but generally, so far I've been making decent contact with those wedges, so having them be a little bit long usually means you're making decent contact. Just gotta take a little bit off it, but I'd rather have the result be a little bit long outside the inner circle and good contact versus a poor strike and you get lucky. But 1 over through 12, 13th hole, par 4, 323. And we got water up there. Luckily, we can still take a full swing with driver here and not get it there. I don't know what the furthest has been today, like 276 maybe. So, very little likelihood of hitting anything over 280. We should be fine water-wise. We just got to get over that on the second shot. I have been liking choking down a little bit on the driver though. Stiffer shaft, choking down a little bit closer to that 3 wood length. Good contact, but I left the club face open. It's going to be out to the right. Well, this could be a tricky situation. Didn't expect to be over here. Gotta take my own advice and release the club. I think though, we're in the trees, but I think we're just in front of them, so I think we got a pretty clear shot here. 59, 10%, so we need another 6. So we're looking at 65. It's gonna be an approach wedge, and we'll see if I can get distance right. Should be in the ballpark. A little bit left. Coming back right. We're peppering some of these by the hole. Despite all my complaining, it does suck playing in cold weather. I do kind of like the fact that it kind of forces me to club up and swing a little bit slower and focus on contact versus when you're out here in 90-degree weather and everything is kind of juiced up, you're sweating, everything's going. I'm more focused on distance now with the distance kind of just given that it's not going to be there, so I've been focusing, at least for this round, and it just helps when you're striking it better on one day or the other, but just grabbing a little bit extra club, swinging a little bit easier, and I'm hitting it better. Go figure. 14th hole, par 3, 168. So 8 iron again. Still, if I hit this good, it's going to be a little bit too much, but this is pretty close to a full 8. Pretty thin, but it was straight. Alright. Not the best strike in the world, but got it to work. I knew that I was going to be dead straight at it, just a little bit thin. Sometimes it's a little bit weird. I guess the thinner on that one, the ball speed went down. Sometimes you kind of see both things back here, and I guess you see sometimes both of them on course too, but generally speaking, you catch them thin, they go longer on course because they come out low and they kind of run out. Here, they land soft around the green, but I've been seeing kind of both. Sometimes you catch them thin and it goes off the back of the green, sometimes you catch them thin and the ball speed drops and it comes up a little bit shorter like that one. Even through 14, 15th hole par 5, 5-3-7. And we need a good drive here. So, we're going to favor over here to the left. I don't love those trees over there, but give ourselves some room, both left and right, and we just got to make sure we get at least, like, we probably need about 262 right there, so we probably need like 235, 240 to carry that water. Oh no, that was Healy low and left. Get over it. Alright. Very poor swing, but we got it to work out. At least it's dry. 303 left. At least this part of the hole is somewhat straightforward, I guess. Actually, I mean, this is kind of a crazy hole. You got left, or went from the tee box out to the right, back to the left, and then it goes kind of left and then back right again. So 303, 240 there. Going 4 hybrid. Chunked it. Heavy right. It'll be up there though, but it's probably gonna take 20 yards off it. Alright, 79 in the fairway. No slope, no rough, so see what we can do here for 79. Going approach wedge. Toey, but the contact felt decent. We'll get down. A little too much mustard on that one, but still save par. 16th hole par 4. Man, I need that sun to come back out. Like I said, luckily it's not windy. The wind chill would be rough right now, but without that sun, it's pretty cold. I even went inside and put an extra layer on before I came out and recorded it, but... Alright, short par 4, 271. Let's see if we can drive this. Go just short right there, 258. Work it back a little bit to the left. Let's see if, like I said, we can either drive it or run it up to where we just have like a 60-degree left. Not gonna happen though if I strike it like I did the last one. It's hit pretty good. Left it out a little bit to the right, and we kind of aim that way. We'll see if it straightens out a little bit. That has a chance. Ooh, it came back way left. I don't know about that. But, like I said, I mean, short par 4, we got 60 degrees, so, and luckily we're in the fairway, so we got 18 yards on the dot. Probably closer to 15 and a little bit right. We'll see if it gets inside the inner circle. Kind of took a bounce for 19. That one felt like I didn't hit it quite enough, but we got it there. I guess that may be accurate considering I've been coming up long on some other ones. So that one I felt like I hit it a little bit softer and it still was a decent distance. I don't know, but 2 holes left. 17th hole, we're 1 under. Par 4. I like these layouts. There's just nothing but, I mean, it's a narrow fairway, but you got tons of room left and right. There's not a whole lot of issues out there, so you can take a pretty free swing. And even if I hit one 50 yards left or right, we're still in play. Low in the face up the left. At least I'm swinging up on it, but that one I either didn't stand close enough to it or I swung too much on it. So my interpretation of those ones that are thin, or I'm catching them low on the face, is I'm kind of swinging too much up on it, and the top of the driver is just clipping the ball versus coming in a little bit more neutral, I guess, and catching more of the middle of the ball, or the middle of the club face. Maybe not, I could be completely wrong on that. 180, down 1. I guess I'm gonna go 7. No shot I get the 8 there. 7's gonna be a little bit too much if I hit it good, but it's gonna take a smooth-ish, controlled-ish swing here. Left it out to the right a little bit, but I hit it decent. Should be right side of the green, I think. Just barely, maybe. Alright. Still, like I said, hit it halfway decent. Caught just the mat a little bit, but that's about 7 to 10 yards shorter than what usually I would see out of that club. But alright, folks, we made it, and this is like the 3rd round in a row, I think. Last time I came out here, I put up 2 decent scores. We're 1 under through 17, so I feel like I'm striking it better today, but not too bad from a furthest back from the tips on a Pete Dye course to be 1 under going into the 18th. But we got water and we got a dog leg, so typical self-jinx. This could be a triple real quick, but 18th hole par 5, 466. Dog leg right, we got water up along the left, so I guess, I don't know where to aim here. I guess I'll go here, kind of where it was, just so I have room right. If I get it over that corner, I got enough room left. That's probably the smarter move. Realistically, if I had a controllable draw, like 7, 8, 9 times out of 10 that I know I'm going to start it right, it's going to come back left, I would aim a little bit further right, kind of over the edge of the water. But consistency's not there. I'm known to have the two-way miss going, so it is nice when you're able to eliminate. If you consistently play one type of shot, you can basically eliminate one side of the course off the tee. Used to do that with the slice. The left side of the course was just not in play. Alright, started out to the right. That should be pretty good. There's a better launch on it. We may run out of fairway, but decent swing. Unfortunately, we're in the bunker, but it's dry. See, like that was the type of swing I'm talking about. If I knew I was going to be able to do that, I would have aimed further right and we would have ended up in the fairway, but we bring that water more into play. Alright, so long way home and we're in the bunker. 229 left. 20% is going to be basically like that 40, 45, 46 yards additionally. So don't really have a club I can comfortably get it there, so I'm just gonna bunt or just hit basically the 4 hybrid up there and hopefully have like a wedge into this. I'm gonna go a little bit this, we'll go corner of that tree. I don't want to catch that. We'll bring it into play if we don't have to. Heavy again, heavy and right. It's gonna be fine though. I should miss that tree. I hit the other one up there, but I hit that pretty heavy. It's only about 210. Alright, we gotta look though. So, and it is a par 5, we're hitting 3. We got 70 yards on the dot. It's gonna be an approach wedge. Let's see if we can stick this green. Get out of here with a negative number for the round. Possible we get inside the inner circle, we get a bird, but don't want to get too greedy. Just looking for the green here. Oh, I hit it good, but it's going to be too much, I think. I think that might be long right. Yep. That's the shot. That approach wedge is going to be, like I said last time, pitching wedge. I can choke down on it a little bit, but pitching wedge is about 130, 135. So that approach wedge is going to be anything from 125 down to like 50. Now that I took the 52 out, because this approach wedge is 51 degrees, so I took my old 52 out. I basically go 4 through pitching wedge, and then the approach wedge, which is 50. Then I go 56 and 60. So I'm going to have to really dial in those in-between shots with that approach wedge, and something like this, almost 20 yards long. Not ideal. 18 yards, we're in the bunker. I need another 4 at least. We'll go 60. And so much for that birdie opportunity. Now we're just trying to, I need to get this inside the inner circle to save par, I think. On the green, we're looking at a bogey, and we'll finish even on the round. Hit it good. Straight up and over the net. Should be pretty straight, maybe a yard right. We'll see. May put too much on it again. Alright, landed soft. We'll take it. I think we saved par. Luckily, too, I don't know if you guys heard that ricochet. Went straight up and over the net, and it hit a log out there or a tree and bounced straight down, so hopefully I can see it. Sometimes the balls get nestled down in the leaves back there, and they get tough to see, but that only went... It was going to go a lot further if it didn't hit that tree, but... Alright, so... From Harbour Ridge Yacht and Country Club, this was the River Ridge course in Palm City, Florida, completed by Pete Dye in collaboration with his son PB Dye in 1989. We ended up with a 1 under 71, so a little bit of a messy scorecard in there. We had 4 bogeys, We had 3 birdies. We had that eagle on 6, which helped. The rest were pars. We went 37 on the front, 34 on the back. Pretty good back 9. And those metrics, I actually take these all day long. I mean, 12 out of 14, I was hitting driver better. That's a pretty good, I mean, to hit all but 2 fairways off the tee, that's pretty good in my books. It's about as good as I can hit it. Granted, I didn't hit some of them great. Some of them only went like 240 when I hit them low, but at least they were straight. 12 out of 18 greens in regulation. We'll also take that all day long. It's about 75%, I believe, if not even a little bit more. And then 29 putts, that's pretty good. Anything under 30 is pretty good. Obviously 36 being 2 putts a hole. Realistically, I would love to be close to 1, but with the no putting and everything else, it's just chipping. That's pretty tough to do and probably unrealistic. So anything right around 1.5 is pretty good. So all in all, struck the ball decent. Whatever I was doing out here could just be a coincidence and just a better day. But I think the little bit of the bump in my body and my hips, my shoulders to the right a little bit helped. Was making decent contact, and go figure, as a result, swung a little bit easier, knowing distance was down, grabbed a little bit extra club, and we put up a decent score. So hopefully, like I said, the mic and everything else worked out well. I'm going to reload things here, go get that ball, and play one more Pete Dye course. But that's what I have for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. That eagle was pretty cool. Hopefully you guys watched the whole video and you saw that. If not, you can skip back to that hole and see it. If you have any requests for courses you'd like to see me play, let me know the name of the course and where it's located down in the comments, and then preferably, like I always say, just a couple sentences, even a sentence or two, or a paragraph, whatever you want to do, just a little bit of background information why you want me to play it. Whether you want to see the layout because it's your home course, whether it's a course you've always wanted to play, maybe a private course in your area, local par 3, world famous course, anywhere in between, just let me know. But wrapping this one up, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, maybe share the video with someone looking to get into simulator golf, and I'll see you guys at the next course.